Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Yeshi Chanzom. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 9th of June. Indian ministers review situation as coronavirus cases continue to surge. COVID-19 cases expected to peak by end of July-August, says Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. And US envoy Khalilzad discusses Afghan peace with Taliban and Pakistan. And now for all the details. A group of ministers meeting on Tuesday reviewed preparedness and actions for COVID-19 management in India as the number of cases continue to surge. The country witnessed a highest ever spike on Tuesday with 9,987 new cases recorded in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide tally to over 266,000. As India battles a sudden surge in coronavirus cases, a group of ministers on Tuesday held a detailed review of the situation arising out of the outbreak in the country. The 16th high-level meeting chaired by Indian Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan discussed the current status, preparedness and actions for the management of coronavirus as the situation evolves. India's COVID-19 count saw the highest ever spike on Tuesday as the country recorded 9,987 fresh cases in the last 24 hours, taking the tally to 266,598 with 7,466 deaths reported so far. Deputy Chief Minister of New Delhi, which remains the third hit region in the country, informed central government officials during a meeting have denied there is community spread of the virus in the Indian capital, even as half of the cases cannot be traced to any source. He said New Delhi is likely to have over 500,000 COVID-19 cases by the end of July.
कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड पर भारत सरकार के अधिकारीगण भी आए हुए थे। उनका कहना था कि अभी दिल्ली में कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड की स्थिति नहीं है, इसलिए अभी उस पर चर्चा की जरूरत नहीं है।
The spike in cases comes a day after restaurants, malls and places of worship reopened on Monday in various parts of the country under a phased exit from nearly 3 months of COVID-19 lockdown. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that the number of COVID-19 cases will continue to rise in the country and a peak will be witnessed by the end of July or beginning of August. He urged people to follow measures to slow down the spread of the disease, while saying that the option of locking down the whole country is not practicable.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases will continue to rise in the country and a peak will be witnessed by the end of July or beginning of August. There might be difficult times ahead for the country if the people do not follow the standard operating procedures or SOPs formed by the government to control the spread of the disease, Khan said in a televised address on Monday. Despite a rising rate of cases, Pakistan began a phased lifting of its countrywide lockdown last month, a move pushed primarily by fears of an economic meltdown.
मैं आज सबको आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर हमने इसी तरह बेहतियाती की, हम अपने ऊपर, अपने बुजुर्गों के ऊपर, वो लोग जिनकी बीमारियां जिनकी जानों खतरों में जा सकती, हम सब की जिंदगी, उन लोगों की जिंदगी खतरे में डाल रहे हैं, अपने मुल्क को मुश्किल में डाल रहे हैं।
Pakistan has reported 108,317 coronavirus cases with 2,172 deaths so far. The country for the first time recorded more than 100 deaths in a single day due to the deadly virus, health officials said on Tuesday. On Monday, former Pakistan Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi also tested positive for coronavirus, even as several other Pakistani lawmakers have been detected with the virus, including PMLN leader Mian Naveed Ali and Sindh Governor Imran Ismail.
Moving on, Altaf Hussain, the founder of Pakistan's Muttahida Qawmi movement, has said that poet Allama Iqbal did not present the ideology of Pakistan but of Greater Punjab for the protection of the interest of West Punjab. He said ethnic minorities want freedom from Pakistani rule and strongly condemned human rights violations by Pakistani forces.
Pakistan's Muttahida Qawmi movement or MQM leader Altaf Hussain has said that poet Allama Iqbal did not present the ideology of Pakistan, but of Greater Punjab for the protection of the interest of West Punjab. Hussain, in his latest address through social media, said that Sindh, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan have become colonies of Punjab through military power, and asserted that Pakistan has become Punjabistan. He said Muhajirs, Sindhis, Baloch, Pashtuns and people of Gilgit-Baltistan want freedom from Pakistan and strongly condemned the atrocities and human rights violations in Pakistan by the state forces.
पाकिस्तान के लिए नहीं, पाकिस्तान के परचम की आड़ में पाकिस्तान के नाम पे ग्रेटर पंजाब का मंसूबा था और आज तक है। चाइना से तुम कितनी डील कर लो, सिंधी और मुहाजिर जब तक जिंदा हैं, सिंध पे चाइना के साथ करो या अमेरिका बरतानिया के साथ, कर लिया जितना करना था।
Altaf Hussein's MQM, a mainstream political party of Muhajirs, has dominated Pakistan's largest city, Karachi, since the 1980s. When security forces cracked down on the party in the 1990s, Altaf Hussain sought asylum in the United Kingdom. Even from exile in London, Hussain has been a vocal critic of Pakistan's policies and often blames it of using force to muzzle dissenting voices in the country.
Gilgit-Baltistan is home to diverse cultures, ethnic groups, languages and backgrounds. Despite rich culture, local artists in the illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan say the government has not done anything to promote the culture of the region.
Gilgit-Baltistan is home to diversified cultures, ethnic groups, languages and backgrounds. It is perhaps one of the most spectacular regions in the world in terms of its geography and scenic beauty. This multitude of culture is because of the strategic location of Gilgit. However, according to the local artists, the government has done nothing to preserve and promote the rich culture of the region. The artists who have worked in several films, shows said that the government should take steps to promote the culture and organize cultural programs at Karakoram International University.
अब इस वक्त भी कराकोरम यूनिवर्सिटी में हमारे कल्चर का कोई क्लासेस चलना चाहिए और गवर्नमेंट की हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कल्चर का अलग एक हिस्सा होने चाहिए उधर और इस किस्म का एक्टिविटीज होने चाहिए। तो हमारी जीविका जो गवर्नमेंट है इसने तो फनकारों के लिए कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा है। आया कि हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 2% तो है ना सर, उससे तो भी कल्चर सपोर्ट एंड कल्चर का प्रोग्राम होना चाहिए।
Gilgit-Baltistan region is under Pakistan's illegal control since it invaded erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir soon after the partition of India.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan. US envoy for Afghanistan reconciliation Zalmay Khalilzad has met with the leaders of the Taliban in Qatar to review the implementation of a peace deal with the group aimed at ending nearly 2 decades of Afghan conflict. Khalilzad visited Islamabad on Sunday and also held talks with Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa on the Afghan peace process.
US envoy for Afghanistan reconciliation Zalmay Khalilzad met with leaders of the Taliban in Qatar to review the implementation of a peace deal with the group aimed at ending nearly 2 decades of Afghan conflict. Suhail Shaheen, a spokesman for Taliban, took to Twitter and released details of Sunday's meeting. He said Khalilzad was accompanied by General Scott Miller, the US commander of international troops in Afghanistan. Both sides talked about the speedy release of the prisoners and commencement of intra-Afghan negotiations. Meanwhile, the American embassy in Islamabad said on Monday that Khalilzad, who visited Pakistan on Sunday, discussed the steps required for the start of the intra-Afghan negotiations during his meeting with Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa. The US envoy is travelling to Qatar, Pakistan and Afghanistan as part of efforts to bring peace in the war-torn country. During the three-nation tour, Khalilzad will review commitments in the recently signed US-Taliban agreement and the US-Afghanistan joint declaration, specifically reducing violence and carrying out prisoner releases. Khalilzad is scheduled to visit Afghanistan on the last leg of his latest three-nation trip.
Amid rising cases, Afghanistan government has ordered new health practices to curb COVID-19. Afghanistan's COVID-19 cases has surpassed 20,000. The Ministry of Public Health on Tuesday reported 542 new positive cases of COVID-19 out of 1,225 samples tested in the last 24 hours. Capital Kabul is at the top of the list. Afghanistan's Ministry of Public Health on Monday reported 575 new positive cases of COVID-19 from 978 samples tested in the last 24 hours. Afghan capital Kabul was on the top of the list with 193 new cases, followed by Herat with 151. Afghanistan's COVID-19 cases reached 20,917 as on Tuesday, and the number of active cases stands at 18,377. The total number of known deaths from COVID-19 in the country is 369 and the total recovered cases are 2,171 according to the ministry. Meanwhile, Afghan government has announced a new set of mandatory health guidelines aimed at slowing down the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The new health guidelines require citizens to wear a face mask in public places, maintain a 2-meter social distance, avoid gatherings of more than 10 people, disinfect all workplaces, and for elderly people to not leave their homes. According to the new plan, all schools, universities, higher education institutes, restaurants, parks, sports complex and wedding halls will remain closed for 3 months. Buses will not be allowed to commute between the cities. A 2-day lantern display was held in Sri Lankan capital Colombo over the weekend to celebrate the Poson Full Moon Day. The event celebrates the introduction of Buddhism in the island nation.
A 2-day lantern display was held in Sri Lankan capital Colombo over the weekend to celebrate the Poson Full Moon Day, an important event in the Buddhist calendar. As the sun went down, 24 lanterns, each representing one of the 24 regiments of the army, were switched on to the delight of thousands of men, women and children who had poured into the venue near the army headquarters in Pataramulla. Disregarding a slight drizzle, people wearing face masks and maintaining social distance slowly walked past the beautiful lanterns. The artistically painted lanterns had paper-mache replicas of places and persons from ancient Buddhist lore. The display was put up at the initiative of Army Commander Shavendra Silva to mark the arrival of Arahant Mahinda, who brought Buddhism to Sri Lanka from India in 3rd century BC. Sri Lanka, where a nighttime curfew remains to stem the spread of the coronavirus, has reported 1,857 confirmed cases and 11 deaths due to the virus so far.
India's Kashmir Valley is known for its silk rearing and mulberry plantations. Mulberry farmers in India's Jammu and Kashmir territory are rejoicing a good production owing timely rainfall and good quality fertilizers. Mulberry farmers in India's Jammu and Kashmir territory rejoiced a good production owing timely rainfall and good quality fertilizers. Kashmir Valley is known for silk rearing and mulberry plantations. Farmers were facing the brunt of coronavirus lockdown until the government eased restrictions and allowed agricultural activities. A high yield of mulberry is a glimmer of hope for the farmers who have been struggling for survival during the prevailing testing times.
Because of rain and because of fertilizer, क्योंकि इसी से फ्रूट भी बढ़ गया और इसी से क्वांटिटी भी बढ़ गई और इससे क्वालिटी भी बढ़ गई। कितना एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे इस साल तो हमारे पास डिमांड है 4 क्विंटल्स 400 kgs, लेकिन लगता है उससे ज़्यादा भी निकलेगा।
Mulberry trees, which grow in huge numbers in Jammu and Kashmir, give double benefit to the farmers as sericulture also involves the growing of these trees for the leaf, which is basically food for silkworms. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.